And we're back for another round of GAC. We're doing pretty well in the very beginning of this match, or the very beginning of this week. We've won both our first two matches. The first one we totally earned. The second one, our opponent was in Vegas, so we both kind of won on that one, I like to think. We were up in our final round, and we didn't get end all because we didn't lose the last round, so that's kind of bittersweet. But we are going against Fizzao. It's kind of a cool name. Probably not pronouncing it correctly, but whatever. He is pretty darn stacked. Let's pull up the spreadsheet to see what he's got going on. And he does have a slight variance than what we're typically used to here. He's got... Yeah, let's just pop over to this one. He's got pretty much what you would expect. He's got, the typical 250 relic levels on us. He's got all 6 GLs. He has all the Omicrons we have, plus Starkiller, which makes sense. But on top of that, he has the Admiral Ackbar Omicron, which is really, it's not top tier. It's not, I wouldn't consider in the best Omicrons with characters like Qui-Gon Jinn or Iden or Wampa. But of the mid-tier Omicrons, it's the top. So that is, the fact that he has all the good ones already, and then he has the top mid-tier, that is an advantage for him. So a ton of relic levels, and then even mod-wise, like, he has his beat as well. Like, we had 3 more plus 25s than him, which is kind of cool. But he's got his beat in plus 20s, he's got his beat in plus 15s, he's got his beat in plus 10s, and 6 dots. So, I mean, you pick a type of advantage, and he has it. Like, he has everything on us. This is really our match to lose, but we're not going to take it laying down, so. Now that's out of the way, let's go ahead and check out the actual defense and offensive strategy, I guess. So I don't think he started attacking. Oh, he has started attacking. It's really early too. All right. Yeah, I mean, we're at the very beginning of the round, so hopefully he's done with his attack before we start, which actually I know is an impossibility. So 68 on that. So that's really a 58. I wonder if that was C. Anyways. We changed our defense just slightly this round. So we don't have Drevan on defense. We're going to try Drevan against Starkiller because Starkiller is kicking my butt into next week. And he did, of course, he put him on defense, which, fine. Everybody does. But because of that, we had to shift some things around on our defense. And I just flat out put Lord Vader on defense. He doesn't have Fennec relicked. So I'm pretty sure that's not just a freebie for him. Like, he'll probably have to burn SLKR or something like that on it. But hoping that that'll work. But the rest of my defense is the same. Pretty standard teams. Just kind of hoping to call all of his GLs here. That way he doesn't have 2 GLs in the back to win. So all his teams are pretty good. Top wall, he's running the same bounty hunter team that we're running, which I think is really good. Iden's over here. We've ran into her. Typical Nute team. Typical Dash team. Mon Mothma team doesn't look too threatening. We'll probably be able to Padme that again. And then down below... I think this is the first time we've been seeing GLs already, but we have to deal with Rey, which this one's going to be really nasty. I wanted to see armor it, but gosh, this is going to hurt. Like, she's got, what is it, 12? Yeah, over 12,000, and Hoda's in there. So I'm pretty sure she just kills me. I'm pretty sure her ult with Hoda's 25% offense boost just one-shots my C from full health and protection. I don't really have a better alternative. I guess I could try JML. Yeah, that's gonna suck. Darth Revan's probably gonna suck too. Well, maybe we try to Thrawn Vader that again. I don't know if that works. This Darth Revan is higher relic than the ones we've been facing, so I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that he's tankier. It actually does not look that tanky. It's about the same as the R5 one. The modding on this one isn't that great. But yeah, there's him. I have no idea we're going to do any of this. Bam Han Chewie, Heart 8 Chewbacca as well. Maul, I don't know what we're going to do against any of this. This is going to be a rough match. Last round we used troopers here, but the Maul is too fast for my troopers. And then, of course, the team that has been killing all of my GL Starkiller up top. So yeah, we've got a work cut out for us, but we're going out in full steam, so let's get to those battles. And we're going to get back to these battles now. So we're going to start off trying to take out their Starkiller, and we're going the non-GL route this time because GLs won't work in. So surely this will work. This will be fine. So we go ahead and take in our Darth Revan here to start. I've heard good things about this. I'm a little weary because everyone who gets something to work once right now is going on and blabbing about it. So not too high of hopes here, but we have to work what we got. So yeah, we come with this. My team is R4 across the board, so I think that is a little bit of a detriment. And I'm really just trying to analyze the situation right here, right now. end up going for, what's his face first? Palpatine, just because I know I'll be able to drop him again with a stack, and he has so much protection. That life drain did nothing. Using the life drain here just so we can get a guaranteed kill on him. And this is really kind of sucky. Because either I can hit Mara and really ability block or not really cause anything, or I can ability block Starkiller, who'll probably counter me and kill me. And ultimately, the decision, I end up making the decision I do because Starkiller's basic is still really good. Like, I don't want to have to ability block him counter me, and then lock him into that. So we end up going with Mara Jade here. Yes, I think we do. I'm definitely thinking over with a lot of thought. Yeah, so get the ability block there. I guess we go for the fear, which really doesn't do anything. Because we can't fear Starkiller. And now we have to hit her, because if we hit Starkiller, he's going to counter us and just kill us. So, yeah, I mean, this is a hard match. I really don't think I would prescribe this as a hard counter. I'm sure some people can get it to work, but I don't think it's going to be able to work every time. So, luckily it didn't counter that time, so we just barely made it out of there. We let the fear stick. And we go ahead and put the fear on Mara. And this kind of sucks. Now there's only 2 of them. The fear isn't going to land on Starkiller because he's immune to it, but also the debuffs aren't because the fear is going to try to land on him. So it's going to bypass that. So that's not really all that great for us. But yeah, definitely thinking it through. I think we eventually just end up going for the ability block on Mara here, which is really what we want. We should be able to get the double tap here with Darth Revan. He gets the counter and then just slaughters us. And this is really, really rough in 3v3. Because even going up against that Starkiller again, they're going to have all the bonuses they had before. So we leave it for now, thinking that at least without the lead, I'll be able to take something weaker against it. Now we have our weaker, I mean not a GL. So going up against the Darth Revan team, taking in our typical Thrawn, Vader team, this worked really well. Going to start relying on this, I think, a little bit more just because of how much success I've had with it. L3, it being in here too, is pretty darn cool. She's very good. She's able to consistently taunt. Really high protection as well. So we kind of let things go normally. Once again, our Thrawn does not have Corrupted Battle Meditation on, so we're able to get the Fracture out. Bastila Shan Fawn is a little bit of a pain in the butt, but eventually she just goes down. Still can't get our bonus turn meter here. But we're just trying to ability block Malik. See if we can get him stunned. See if we can get everything going in the back there. And just making sure we're using all the right abilities. And this just ends up becoming a really big juggle of things, trying to see when we need to use it, how we need to use it. But it's kind of hard to lose here just because of how much survivability we have against them. So it's really nice. Like, we have ways to get protection back. We have ways to get health back. There's a lot of ways that we can get stuff back where they can't really kill us. So they kind of get death mark here. I throw it back to L3 just because I want her to get fully healed so that she can take the next life drain when it comes around. Because if she dies, this does start to get hairy. And she keeps laying her defense down too, which I'm not going to lie, that's pretty darn cool. Because defense down on Malik is really nice because he gets stacking defense as the match goes on. So again, this is just kind of a balancing act, trying to get to the right time. And we whack him. So that went really well. This was a pleasant surprise. So I'm giving away the ending here again. But Jedi Knight Luke versus Bam Han Chewie. I shot Jedi Knight Luke first, which is great, because number 1, they can't stun him. Number 2, on top of that, he gains turn meter when you hit him. So he's closer to going to take a turn. We actually opt to hold the lead ability, which is a little weird, because I want to try to get back-to-back turns with Jedi Knight Luke. So we go ahead and get the ability blocking the offense down, kind of. Go for the stun, and then call in Hoda right after. And now Chewbacca's pretty much dead. So the team is way more vulnerable now than it was before. I'm actually trying to even really remember what I was doing here. Yeah, I think you could probably go in either direction, honestly. I don't think the 4 birds from Bam are really going to do anything. So I think we just go and hit Han. Yep, so hit him. He goes off. And now it's just a lone Bam. And I mean, he's going to put damage meter on himself. And, you know, who cares? So we skip our health equalization move just because we have healing immunity, so we won't be able to get the protection. Just wait another turn, wait for it to get off of everyone. And once it's off everyone, we can go ahead and use it again. But we actually don't even need to end up using it because the Jedi Knight Luke lead ability does enough. He goes into his poopy stance again, and then he dies. Not the way you want to go. So now we get to use troopers against Maul again. And this one was actually really sketchy because we don't have enough speed on our troopers to actually outspeed Maul for his first turn. But because there's no Canderous there, we don't really need to outspeed his first turn. We just need to outspeed his second. So the armor wasn't that fast. And the counter from Piet also gave us a pretty nice, it gave us a full turn there. So we're able to kind of get things going for the most part. And we're able to take in Veers now to get the big hit off. And I think I'm debating if we want to hold it. And I don't think we can. Because we're not going to get enough turn meter to loop here without a kill. So we really need a kill. And the best chance to get a kill is to get a triple tap from Dark here. You get the one for him being called to assist, the one for Piet calling him, and then the one bonus one, which not guaranteed, but we got it. So that was really nice. Now it's Piet's turn. We have full turn meter, so armor goes down really easily. Continue with the turn meter. We just punch him. I don't really care if he counters. It's not going to change much. He's not going to be able to kill any of us on just a basic, so go for that. Yeah, even my really weak Veers doesn't get killed, so that worked really well. We go in, we need to get through that Starkiller now, so I don't want to take in something too expensive, so we just opt for using Jedi Knight Revan. No lead is really nice, so Mara isn't just going to get endless turns, and luckily she was really dumb, and she threw out her, she probably just the one which she had on cooldowns, but she threw out her grenade, which none of that's going to stick, because we have tenacity up to start with, so kind of equaled things out there. And I'm trying to figure out my move here. There's a lot of thinking involved in 3v3, I'm noticing. And we ultimately just go for the big hit. And this is actually how we know kind of just this works right now. So we're able to take him down. Now that he's dead, we can stun Mara, kill Mara. That's awesome. And then we get to the back wall, and the only Galactic Legend he has, and this is kind of random. I don't know why it's this one. I don't know if he's just trying to mix things up, but I feel like if you're going to only set one Galactic Legend, SLKR is kind of a weird choice. This was the only one, right? Yeah. So it's only SLKR, so okay. We have Jedi Master Luke. We really don't need Jedi Knight Luke to do this. The way things work out, we're able to get buff immunity onto Faust first, and then take out Hux, which makes this a world of a lot easier. The reason we bought Bastila here is just because I really like being able to call her an ability block, and pretty much we can control SLKR the entire time, because she has it on basic, so yeah, I mean, there's really not a lot to write home about. The JML was kind of made to kill SLKR, and as long as you don't give him crap teammates, he does a great job at it. And then we take in our SLKR, and this is actually really nice. I was thinking over and over, I'm like, oh gosh, what are we going to be able to use to take out Qui-Gon Jinn? Like, I don't have anything that I'm set for. We're probably going to have to two-shot. It's going to be terrible. And then I'm like, oh, I still have SLKR, so I mean, really nothing to say there except for don't think you need to kill Qui-Gon Jinn first. Just go right for Jedi Knight Anakin. This was fun. So they had this awkwardly geared, kind of awkwardly geared Iden team. R6 Storm, which that's nice. Only an R2 death, and then a Gear 11 Iden. So kind of on the weaker side of things. So I'm wondering if my full Gear 12 Traya team will be able to take it out. Because death is the main damage dealer, because they have a Gear 11 Iden, so she's not going to do much. And I'm thinking, like, can we survive just long enough? And we end up pulling it off here. We get the revive off with Scion there, which is super great. And then on top of that, we're able to annihilate Storm. And then at this point, it's just Iden. Gear 11 Iden isn't going to pull off this win. So, yeah, really solid. I mean, if we were of equal gear, this would have felt a lot smoother. But them having some relics and us having 0 wasn't super optimal for this team. So we're able to take her down, which is really nice. Now we're going to go ahead and take in Wampa versus their dash team. We've been using this team a lot, and there is a method to this that is you have to kind of get right. You have to constantly hold the cleanse for after Dash uses his days, because if you don't, you won't be able to get back around to, and he'll actually loop you, which is not great. So he does have the Omicron. This team is modded very well. But again, we're saving the cleanse for when we have days so that we can get it off, because then we can get enough turns by countering them and hitting them. And then it's just a question of how long until an AoE and like a really lucky counter gets right onto their Vandor. So again, so that was actually really bad. We aren't able to loop the days quite well. We come in a turn late on it, and that's not really great, because I'm not quite sure what's doing it, but it has to be something to do with the counters. Like, we're not countering characters necessarily with debuffs, so we're not getting as much turn meter. So now we're 2 turns away from getting the days out, and we're still full health, so we don't have to switch to a basic, because sometimes you need to switch to a basic. So we get We end up getting things going here again. We end up getting rid of the days, and I'm still just trying to only use my basic here, because I'm trying to save the cleanse for when he does get the days out, so that we have the protection up to kind of ride through. And then at this point, around this point, I start talking to chat, which we're not going to blame chat here. This is me getting distracted. But I'm just kind of going about my day. Battle's taking quite a while. And we hold the icebreaker this time around, which is really nice. Keep trying to bump up our offense. Things are going fine. Get the days off on the next one. Just kind of waiting for for us to build enough offense to get through Vander over there. We're countering really well. We're getting tons of turn meter. And then right before Dash uses days, we use the icebreakers. Like I said, I was talking to chat, got distracted. I'm like, oh, this is not good. This is not good at all. And it actually ends up being worse than I think it is, because at the same time, he's able to link dazes, which means we're not just going to naturally throw it off. So Wampa gets really close to dying. But one of the nice things about what happens here, when Wampa stops hitting them, L3 stops cleansing the dots, and then they die. So definitely not how I saw that battle going. Definitely not how I wanted it kind of to go through the midway, but I mean, it works, so I'll take it. Next, we took our JTR versus the Boba team. I don't really love this that much. It's kind of what we had to work with. I do really like that Boba team. I've been setting that as well, and it's kind of cool to see it work here. So instead of trying to debuff someone, we're actually go to call on the other two, because I wanted to cleanse both of them. And we got lucky with the R2 assist. It could have been JTR, but both of them were able to crit, so they got the cleanse there, so that was nice. But this is starting to get kind of hairy, because number one, they already have an absurd amount of speed from Zam there. But on top of that, they keep landing thermals, and the thermals generate a lot of turn meter that ultimately just can't get ahead of. So this is super sketchy. We wasted the stealth there. That was dumb. We probably should have gone for the stun onto Boba. We go for the stun on Boba now. Doesn't land. He gets him on JTR, kills JTR. And yeah, this just falls apart. So this isn't that bad, though. Without Zam there, that's a pretty crucial part of the team with her stats and her thermals, and throw in debuffs to go first. So we go ahead and just take in our, I don't know if this is a typical team, but just our bounty hunters here versus their Nute team. I mean, this is a very, very easy counter. I get contract pretty much immediately. B1's pretty much dead, so we go ahead and just finish him off here so we can get the buffs, because, you know, why not? Cleanse the extortion, because I don't have to deal with it. Get rid of Jenga before he nukes someone. And I mean, that's all she wrote. I think we probably, do we go with the protection up? Yeah, we do, just so we can get that back. Keep working on Nute. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of damage outside of the big hit from Mando over there, but that's all you really need. Don't really need anything else other than that. Get the extortion out. It's a little annoying, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. So that was super nice. Then we go ahead and take in our Gideon with Mara Jade and Palp against their Mon Mothma team. I think this will just be fine. I know my Moth Gideon was going to go faster than them, because Kyle Katarn really doesn't gain any speed. And luckily, their Kyle Katarn was really dumb. He, instead of using the move that would have dispelled all that on everyone and they would have ended up taking a bunch of turns, he goes and uses the other move. So, doesn't work out for him. Works out very well for us. We kind of wait for the stagger to build up on what's-his-face, on Kyle Katarn, and get the stun on him. And we're just trying to ride this out. We get tenacity down on everyone, again, as you do. And then just trying to spam Palp's basics so we can get through Kyle Katarn. I am a little worried, though, because we're going to need to. We're going to need to hit Mon Mothma eventually if we shouldn't cleanse everyone. Luckily, the stun lands, and it's a 2-turn stun now. So, I mean, she's just done for. 2-turn stun. We got Shock out. Armor Shred. It just makes them really easy to kill. And they all go down. So, yep. Oh, and then he put his Admiral Ackbar Omicron on defense here. So all we had to do was check the potency on the R2, make sure it wasn't going to be some obscene amount that he was going to be able to stun, and we just kill him. I mean, they have so many buffs on this team. Even without this, they don't even have the Leia Omicron, which I guess is okay for them. But yeah, this is, if your opponent has Nest, this is essentially just a waste of Omicron, unless you're going to give it a really premium Rebel character. And even then, I don't know. I don't think Nubak in this team works. I mean, you'd have to be giving them Han and Chewie, and at that point, like, why bother? So yeah, don't love Snack Bar here. You can see they're not even getting close to remotely breaking our shell. The Quira lead does help, but at the same time, I mean, we can spare those banners really with no with no loss. Like, that's fine. Kill R2, which is nice because it gets rid of his bonus stats for the rest of the team as well. Leia gets like 6 shots off. It just doesn't really matter. Snack bar's dead. This team really needs protection recovery because you don't have a chance at stalling out Nest without protection recovery. So now we have to beat this really bad, or this really good JTR team, and I was throwing Jawas in this team at it because I wanted to throw teams that would apply debuffs passively so that they wouldn't constantly be reducing their own cooldowns. And it worked perfectly. We get in here and they only have basics lined up. So we're able to get ahead of them. This is really nice because the Finn was fairly fast. It was like 330 or something like that. So we're able to take in our crew now. Our crew would not have stood a chance against us had they not had their cooldowns reduced. So we specifically took them in to do that. And now we're going to be able to take down pretty much the rest of the team. We start with a 2-turn stun. Didn't want to hit JTR with it because she could possibly dispel it. And JTR typically likes to call in Finn to assist, and she would have dispelled it there anyway. So this is kind of a risky match, but we're just kind of going all on damage here. Again, JTR uses her basic. We get the turn back, and now Resistance Hero Finn is dead. So it's really hard for them to make a comeback here. So we get the 2-turn stun again. JTR dispels it, however, which is not great. We also dispel everything too, so we're making a pretty good comeback here. I think we just go for the kill, yeah, which is really what we should have done. It's not just JTR, and she's not going to be able to solo our entire team. She does dispel the stun, which kind of sucks, but, you know, whatever. Fox has her number, takes her out, and that's really all she wrote. Yeah, so having to 2 and 3 shot some of these teams, it's not super great, but I do think it is necessary. So we get to take on our record team here, and I'm pretty sure Quira has Evasion Mastery because we keep missing her here. It's a little annoying. Padme can't be avoided, or basic at least, so that was pretty nice. We hold the 2-turn stun, just because it's not a 2-turn stun until we have our full stacks there. Take out their Quira, go ahead and get a bunch of courage. They dodged that as well. I think they had foresight for that one. Dispel the foresight from what's-his-face. We're able to kill him, which is really nice. Unload all of our courage on IG and win. I really like that team. That team's going to stick around for me. So now the only team he has left up top is the Boba team we didn't kill. And I still had Watt left over, which is really weird because typically Watt goes with SLKR to kill something, but in this case he didn't have to. So we just took in this kind of monstrosity of a team, and I mean, it works. It works just fine. I'm not sure how it would have done in the first instance, but, you know, second instance it does just fine. Go ahead and clear the healing immunity off myself. Doesn't really matter here. Spy eventually just builds up enough damage, and then he's dead, so. Get into ships. We're doing pretty darn well. We just need to full clear, and I think we have the win here. But yeah, coming up against this Empire team, I mean, our allowance has worked really flawlessly against this. I mean, we're typically, even with Shuttle there, we're able to kill Bomber almost instantly. We get Bomber out. They call him their prototype. And then it's just really a win-win situation here. We bring in Spy, and like, whoever we get to snipe is awesome. So we get in there. We get it on Second Sister. Even if we didn't, we would just been able to clock Vader right in the beginning, which would have been great too. So we get rid of her. Of course, our allies aren't assisting, but Vader apparently is really squishy. So we were able to kill him. Their bomber does finally come in, but, you know, too little too late. Get rid of their shuttle, and then we just go full Geo here. And I'm pretty sure they're going to get ult just because of how the prototype works. And that is pretty typical this fleet, actually, to get ult. But as you can see, it just doesn't really matter. So that fleet's down. Now we're going to go ahead and take our finalizer versus Raddus. And I said this before, but this team has a little bit of margin for failure, just because if they dodge enough, you're just kind of screwed. Which I don't like that. So maybe we need to be doing something different with our mark. I don't know. Maybe I'm misplaying this. But yeah, just trying to pass turns back over to what's-his-face. We're not getting the stuns, which is really unfortunate. The one we finally do get is the one that doesn't matter. And they have Silencer just about dead. And right now, here in the stream, I'm like, this is over. We're losing this, and this is the full clear. Because I don't have a cleanup fleet. I don't have a backup. If we don't kill anyone here, we're just done. So Silencer does get a turn, gets Foresight on top of that, which is great. We're able to bring in the Echelon, and I'm still worried, though, right now. Because the Millennium Falcon has an AoE that can just take us all out, and Echelon taunting doesn't matter if they have a really strong AoE. So I think ultimately just go for it and just say, hey, you know, whatever, we'll try our best. We finally did get to land that. We put the turn meter back to Silencer. Try to get a big hit here. It's not too big because they were immune to crits, but we delayed the big AoE for 1 turn, so that was nice. We're able to get the assists on What's-His-Face, which is also really nice. Get rid of the Foresight, so that his hit isn't going to be that bad. Doesn't use the AoE here, so that's pretty nice. I don't know if he needs he has like a buff threshold for that. I think we just go for the AoE here to make sure we get the kill on What's-His-Face, and of course he dodges, so that's splendid. I just get rid of the tank because I don't know what to deal with anymore. Get rid of the Falcon. And from here, it's pretty much a home run. They're not going to be able to get down all 4 of us, especially with really the big threats out. So get rid of him. That's super cool. Go ahead and put Hunted on this last guy just because why not? Throw the attack over there, and we got him. And then, so this is weird. So my Rebels aren't very good. We've been over this a few times. Our opponent did not set Executor, but I know my Rebels aren't good enough to just beat Negotiator outright. So we go ahead and take in the Burner versus Negotiator. We let this time out, and then we come in with Rebels to try to beat them. So this is pretty cool. The Negotiator uses basic, and we're just going all in on Ahsoka, trying to get her out as quick as possible. And in the process, while we do that, we burn through some turns with Jedi Anakin and get rid. We end up getting rid of his unending loyalty. So now he's open to be able to kill him, and the team really isn't low enough health to justify the Negotiator using its unending loyalty or whatever it is. So we've got a pretty clear shot here. We've got a pretty clear shot here at killing Jedi Anakin. We got Shield Disruptor on the other guy. We just go all in on him, get all the big hits, and he just goes down. So really not a lot to complain about here. Dropping 20 batters kind of sucks, but we're really just banking on the full clear at this point. There's really not a whole lot we can do. So we're able to get it down to just the Y-Wing, and here it's a wrap. He's not... I mean, even if the Negotiator gets ult, it's going to kind of be pointless. So they bring in Plo, which, whatever. Don't really care. Do we even bring in another reinforcement? I think we do. I think we just bring in Casting just for the assist to get this over with. Yep, so there goes that guy. And then the Shield Disruptor again, but doesn't really matter. They do get the days up, who cares? They hit it there, and so since this GAC ended earlier, we can't really see it, but we did end up winning the battle. And if you want to look up proof, I think I posted somewhere in the Discord server, but our opponent did really well on ground. He got to our back wall, one-shot our GLs. He did way better on ground than we did, significantly better, but he just couldn't pull it out with ships. He ended up failing twice against Negotiator, and that ruined him. So now we are currently ranked higher than we have ever ranked before. 324, which is really cool. And I mean, we're up some big names here, and some friends of ours too. Like Emo Kid Skill has been a long time game friend of ours. We're well within range to be in the same bracket of him, depending on things fall. And like just some of these other big names here, like yeah, I know the Wolf is the Wolf was right here. I don't know who Moral Hazard is, but I've heard a lot about him. I feel like, or I've heard the name, we'll put it that way. Sage is in my guild. Yeah, there's Ducky's right here as well from GA Science. There's our GA Lab, GAC Lab as well. Yeah, Bob Gibson from the same guild as well. There's some really, really good players, well-known players around this area. There's a J-Rod here as well, so next week's going to be fun. It's going to be very challenging, but thank you guys for watching. As always, remember to like and subscribe, and stay awesome.